All right, we're back. Okay, it's better. Yes. Now it works. So I'm going to give it a second or two for people to join us because we had to restart the live stream, and then we'll get started. So for those of you guys watching the replay, my name is Sarah Petruno. I used to be on YouTube a lot and had a lot of YouTube videos, which is why my channel has a lot of subscribers for the number of videos that I have. And what ended up happening was, and I talked about this a little bit in the last video, I'm not going to talk about it every video, but probably for a little bit just to explain where I've been and what I've been doing. Back when I was on YouTube a lot, it ended up happening that there was, YouTube's a weird place. And there was some YouTube bullying that went on. And then I just deleted all my videos and got rid of everything. And then, hey, I just said, forget it with YouTube. Like, I'm done with you. And I got out of there and I deleted all my videos. And then I really spent the next couple of years doing some physical healing because I got really sick. And that's a whole other story. And then really finding my own inner strength and like solidity on what I'm doing to be able to come back here and share what I'm sharing with the potential for trolls, which exists on YouTube, and be able to do that comfortably again. And so I'm back. And I really like doing these live videos, and I don't super like pre-recorded videos. So what you'll see probably from me is a lot more live videos on YouTube because I don't really like or do pre-recorded stuff. I just find I'm in my best zone when I'm teaching and talking about this stuff live versus when I'm staring into nothingness, talking to no one, and then uploading later. But I want to share this stuff and I want to talk about it. And thank you guys all for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and like this video and comment and share it if you end up liking it. And if you haven't seen me before or seen my videos, I mean, that'd be weird, but but that'd be cool. So welcome. Yeah, so it was a whole thing. I got bullied on YouTube, essentially, is what happened. And don't even Google it. I wouldn't recommend just even looking at it unless you want to get sucked into some weird energy. But I got bullied on YouTube. And then right around the time where I was doing our shaman life or the shaman life, I had to have emergency surgery to remove my gallbladder. And then that kind of triggered over the next year. I got really sick. I had like 8 parasites and they thought I had an autoimmune disease, and it was a whole long story for another video, but it basically took me like 2.5 years to 3 years to heal my physical body from everything that happened. I don't know. I mean, I can talk about it forever, but it seems like I just didn't have good boundaries really around my own energy. And I was putting stuff out there to help and be helpful for people. But my blog was getting like 10,000, 20,000 page views a day. And I didn't have good structure or boundaries around my energy. So I had people connecting with my energy all the time. And then the YouTube bullying situation happened. And I just said, and then I got sick and I was pretty much like, I have to figure out how I'm going to do this and do this work without getting sick and do it in a sustainable way. That's essentially what happened, is that whole 3 years since basically 2017, 2016, where I was like, I don't know how I can come back to doing this work and sharing with people and being on the blog and doing shamanic healing, talking about shamanic healing, teaching people about all of this, because I don't want to get sick again, because I was really sick. Like there was when it got so bad, the only food that I could eat was sweet potato, and that's it. And then a vanilla, like vegan protein shake. And so for a long time, I was just eating plain sweet potato and this vanilla protein shake and when it finally got figured out, it was 8 parasites and not an autoimmune disease. And we got that healed. That took the whole process took like almost 3 years. And then I had a baby, and then I started saying, okay, how can I come back and how can I do this and come back and do this? And this is like it kind of has stuff to do with this video, but I just wanted to give a backstory as to what happened to me and where I've been for the 3 years, because I used to have tons of videos on YouTube and my blog, and it's all got deleted. And that's why, is because I got really sick and needed to figure out how to manage my energy in a way that was sustainable, that I could continue to do this work. And I just had to disconnect like everything and everywhere that was connected to my energy so that I could figure that out, so that I could come back and do this. And so that's ultimately what happened. And then there was a bullying incident also on YouTube. So long story short, I'm back and I'm going to be sharing about this stuff more, but doing it in a different way. I don't know, Adriana, if you're in our Shaman Life, which is my free group, but I have a free group now that has a bunch of meditations and resources. It's on Mighty Networks, and I have the link in the description below that you can join. But that's where I have that now. And then I've started blogging again on sarahpetrunoshamanism.com. And then I've also started teaching again. So I have a shamanic healing class that starts in May, and then a chakras class that starts, no, shamanic healing starts in June. Chakra healing starts on Monday. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm coming back online. I'm starting to blog again. I have another intuitive income blog also, which I'm starting to share about how to like turn intuitive gifts into like an actual business, and these videos. So I don't intend to upload really pre-recorded stuff because I really don't like pre-recorded stuff. The energy just feels dead to me and I can't pull myself to do it. So I'm probably just going to stick to live videos. Yeah, Adriana, I miss the Shaman Life. Yeah, so it's another group. It's called Our Shaman Life because I think somebody bought the Shaman Life and is trying to sell it to me. But it's ourshamanlife.com, and it is a free group. And then I have a bunch of meditations, ebooks, stuff that I used to sell on the website prior. It's all in there for free. So you can join that. And then that group is what houses I have a paid healing group now, which is like group healings that I do a couple times a month. And it's called the Moon Circle. And so that's within the Shaman Life group. And then all my classes are also within that group. So it's all like Our Shaman Life is the umbrella group. And then all my extra stuff, my paid stuff, my like healing group, and my classes are all in there too. Okay, so that's 7 minutes of me talking about where I've been. So let's get to the point of the video. Okay, so I wanted to talk about how to call your energy back. And the reason I wanted to talk about this was I was looking at my blog statistics, and a lot of the like Google searches for me was how to call your energy back. And I realized that I once at one point had a blog post on this, and I don't anymore. But I want to share about how to do it because the way that I do it is different now. And I think it's a really helpful and powerful visualization, especially right now, especially with what we're dealing with right now in the world. Thank you, Aisha. She says she likes my hair. Thank you. Okay, so the reason I want to talk about this is because basically this is an important skill, being able to call your energy back and disconnect your energy from other things, other sources, other people, other places, other things that you were doing. Like even if you were looking on Instagram or Facebook right before this, that's a place where you had an energy exchange. And if you haven't disconnected from it, it's possible that your energy is still going to that thing. Okay, so we're going to get out my whiteboard so we can talk about this. Okay, so you guys all know, you're familiar with this and the way that I share about this, I hope. And if not, you'll get familiar with it. And we're just going to talk about the energy body and the physical body right now. I'm not going to talk about the spiritual body. See if you guys can see this. Kind of, there's a glare. Okay. So we know we have a physical body, right? That's our physical vessel. And then we also know we have an energy body, okay? And the energy body is I like to think of it as the energetic basis for our physical body and also our soul, okay? We'll talk about it a little bit over here. So our energy body is what is basically at the core. It makes up the energy of our physical body. It makes up the energy of our spiritual body. And this is like, it's all around us. It's out here, our subtle body. And then it's also our chakra system. And we're going to talk about this more in the chakra class that starts Monday, but this is a general overview. Okay. And so essentially what happens and what can happen is when we are having like physical exchanges with people, even after the physical exchange is over, because we also have this energy body, it's likely that there's still an energetic exchange happening unless we disconnect it. Okay. And this is not true for necessarily everything, but it is true for stuff that uses like a lot of energy exchanges, that uses a lot of time and energy of ours. Anything where you're like putting a lot of your energetic focus, energetic intention into like something that you're working on, a project. Anytime you scroll social media, each thing that you stop at is an energy exchange. So you really have to be mindful of disconnecting your energy from that, because what's happening is we're going to remove our physical body here. Move that out of the way so you can see it. But it's like there's constant energy exchange between you and the outside world, because as you're perceiving stuff, you're like passing through and the energy is like being perceived by you. And there's just this constant energy exchange between you, other people, your job, social media. It's I'm seeing something, I'm looking at it, I'm receiving something, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Okay. And even for somebody who has really strong energetic boundaries, what can happen is over time of these constant energy exchanges, it can essentially erode not only your subtle body, this aura field, but also erode and pull out your energy from you to the point where you are not having all like fully your energy in your body, right? So some of your energy could potentially have been lost in any of these exchanges where you've think of something where you've given a lot of energy to it and haven't called your energy back. And it's more common in situations where in my shamanic healing class, we talk about energy loss, where there is like you're giving a lot to something and there's not a lot of return coming back to you, or you're not feeling like a beneficial exchange. But it's also really common on social media because we're scrolling and there's like so many energy exchanges happening there that it's like a constant assault on our energy, and we really have to disconnect and totally pull our energy back from the app, for example. And this could be energy drain, and energy loss could also be a person in your life who's really draining. It could be an experience in your life that's draining. It could be a job. It could be it could be several things. So on a day-to-day basis, the way that I like to think about this is think about all the things that you are plugged into on a daily basis. So what have you been plugged into today so far, right? For me, I've been on Instagram. I think I was on Facebook. I was on Canva working on a project. I was paying bills, like paying my rent and stuff. Those are all the things that I have been plugged into. Okay. And even though the physical exchange has ended, the question is, has the energy exchange ended? Have you pulled your energy back from that exchange? And sometimes you can tell by if you're like still really like feeling like drawn to or connected to or really agitated by a certain experience, that can be a sign that your energy is still like wrapped up in that. Okay. So a really helpful skill, especially now, to know how to do is to be able to disconnect and pull your energy back so that you can be more present in whatever you're doing. This is an especially good skill to use and have if you have to switch between tasks and you can't you don't want to think about whatever you were thinking about just before, right? So maybe you're done working and you want to focus on your kids, your family, or whatever you're doing now, but you feel like you can't turn it off or you can't disconnect. Okay, this is a visualization where you disconnect, pull your energy into the present, and refocus your energy on whatever it is that you're doing now or where you want to be present now. So it's essentially an energy disconnection strategy that you use to be more present in what you're doing and have less energetic loss, energetic drain, and honestly to have less inputs to your energy and to really create like energy sovereignty, if you will. So create disconnection between your energy and the things that you're engaged with on a regular basis. Okay, it's like, think about it like you go out and you're in the garden, right? And you're planting flowers or something, and you're done planting flowers, but your hands are still all covered in dirt, right? So you go to the kitchen sink and you wash it off and you get all the dirt off of yourself. But what happens energetically when we're like engaged like in something like in Instagram, for example, and then we're done and we've closed the encounter, like we finished planting the flowers and we come away and we still have the energy debris. Okay, so that's more like, clearing our energy, which we can do in the same visualization. But it's the same kind of idea where if we're giving a lot of our energy to something, we need to make sure that we're not only ending the exchange physically, but also ending the exchange energetically. Okay, so that's pretty much the reason why I wanted to talk about this video. Because what can happen if you're energetically drained, lost, like too engaged still energetically in things, you can feel overwhelmed, you can feel pulled in multiple directions, you can feel stretched really thin, you can feel like your like energy is being scattered everywhere. That's what it feels like. You can feel anxious, overwhelmed. That's the types of things you feel like. You can also feel like drained energetically, and there's different types of energy loss, right? Like some things is just like, okay, I'm unplugging from Instagram just for the day for me to do this next thing. And then there's also bigger energy sinks in some people's lives, like a job or something that they work at that's draining a lot of their energy, or a relationship of somebody that they know that's like an energy vampire, right? So there's like different levels of energy drain. But the basic way that I like to think about it is as what types of things are plugged into, like is your energy plugged into? So if you think about your own energy body and what are you connected to right now? And the way that I think about it is like actual electrical cords plugged into an outlet. Okay, or an extension, a power strip. So if you closed your eyes and you said, okay, how many things am I connected to that I haven't pulled my energy back from yet, or that I still feel is like, that I know that is like still tugging at me? So if you just closed your eyes and you said, okay, I can think of like 5 things, right? It's this project I was working on, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's this worry that I have, and maybe this thing I have to do later. Okay, easy to think of like 5 things. And these are all things that can prevent our energy from being fully present and fully embodied, because our energy is in different places, right? So when our energy is in different places, that prevents us from being able to be fully energetically embodied, fully energetically present, and disconnected from all other things. Because one of the hardest things to do, especially right now, is to discern, okay, what is me and what are my feelings, and what am I tapping into that isn't me? So am I feeling heaviness because I feel heaviness because that's how I am feeling right now? Or am I feeling heaviness because I haven't disconnected from Instagram, and Instagram is like a nonstop feed of all the reasons why the world is terrible and headed for certain doom. Right? So you have to disconnect your energy to be able to tell and to be able to know like what's me and what's not. And it's like really one of the first steps to self-awareness. And it's also one of the first steps to like one of the first things that I like to do for managing my own mental health and for managing my own energy and just awareness is, all right, I'm going to take a few deep breaths, pull my energy back in, and center and disconnect. It's like one of the first things you can do for energy awareness. So we're going to do that. And we're not going to do any of the extra stuff like grounding. We'll do that in other videos. Grounding, clearing your energy, any of that. We're just going to pull our energy back and pull it back in. Okay. So if you're able to, if you're not driving, close your eyes. And I like to do this like either standing or seated. And you're just going to take some deep breaths. And as you're breathing, you're starting to imagine in front of you the individual things that your energy has been plugged into today, or that's in the future, or something that's in the past that's concerning you. all the things where you can feel or sense or get an idea for, okay, there's energy coming from me plugged into this thing. And the way that I like to do it is almost visualize it as a semicircle in front of me, which each individual item in like a bubble. So they're individually like floating in front of me in a bubble. That's how I see it. And then so think of, okay, maybe it's this thing I was doing yesterday. Maybe it's Instagram I was scrolling, I didn't disconnect. Facebook I was scrolling, I didn't disconnect. Something I'm worried about for the future. Something I need to do. And then visualize electric cords plugged in to those things from you. So coming from you, like your chest, plugged into those things. And then as you're breathing in, so now switch your breathing. So obviously still breathing deep, but as you're breathing in, you're starting to pull your energy back in your body. So you're breathing in, unplugging, and pulling that energy back in with your breath. So breathing in, disconnecting, pulling back in, down into your belly, into your root, and visualizing it kind of winding up and anchoring down in your body. So breathing in, pulling your energy back in, disconnecting and unplugging, breathing out. And as you're disconnecting and unplugging, just let those things float away. Almost like they get taken away by the wind. They just float off. And do as many as you need to really disconnect and unplug. Some of them might feel more difficult to unplug from. And you can ask it and ask in your mind, like, please release. And pull back in. And just breathing those things down into your belly and down into your root. Not those things, that your energy. The things are floating away. And then as we're doing this, because why not? We're here. We're going to start to visualize and imagine golden rays of light shining down over us. It's like a stream of light or like a rain shower of this golden light washing off any residual energy that's stuck to our body. And then washing that away. And surrounding us in light. That's it. You can open your eyes. And just take a minute to like bring yourself back here. But don't you feel better? A little more present, a little more peaceful, a little less scattered, a little calmer. All right. That's all, guys. I just wanted to teach you how to do that. That's something that you can do whenever you want. It takes like less than 5 minutes, maybe like a minute or two once you just get it down and repeat it. And it makes you feel calmer every time, every time you do it. And I like to do it anytime I'm like switching tasks, definitely before I'm teaching anything, all the time. So there you go. There's an energy skill you can use. If you're not in our shaman life yet, there's a link in the description below. And then the chakra class, if you're not in that class yet and you want to take it, then starts Monday, also linked below. Otherwise, I will see you in our shaman life, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.